I want to talk about today's Nintendo Direct. I kind of have just a running list of all of the stuff that was revealed. I don't think I really missed anything here. I'm going to just hit some of the highlights for me, things that I kind of recognize as highlights. If there's something I'm missing that you think is big, feel free to chime in as well. They kicked it off with Overwatch. Coming to the Switch on October 15th. It's going to include motion controls so that you can tilt your console when you get tilted.
What?
I turn them off, correct?
I would imagine.
I hope so.
Yes, I would imagine that you can.
What do you control with it? Your movement?
You can control, like,
Aiming?
when you're ADS, you can aim with it. You can steer Junkrat's tire with it. Like, they were showing several different mechanics with it. So, what do you guys think about Overwatch on Switch? Let's just start there.
I love the idea. I want Overwatch everywhere. I'm really sorry that my family will never see me again once this game's on the Switch. But in all reality, I probably won't buy it unless they implement some cross progression. Just I'm not big on grinding the same game on another platform except for Skyrim, so I got to have the cross progression before I buy in.
See, my thing with Overwatch is, number one, I just want it everywhere. But number two, like, the progression to me doesn't really matter because the skins don't matter to me at all. So, like, to me, there's no real grind except just to get to 30 in order to play competitive. But I'm not going to be playing this game with the goal of, like, getting hardcore into the competitive side of it. Mm-hmm. It's more to just play it while my wife's watching something on TV.
That's true. That makes sense. I was thinking more in terms of, like, there are a lot of skins in that game that I've worked really, like, I went out of my way to try and get, and I don't want to do that again. Mm-hmm. But I also wouldn't want to tank my competitive rating by playing on Switch, so maybe it's not a bad thing after all.
That was the other thing I thought about, was like, oh, I just don't know how, like, well my skills are going to translate. Which, from other games that I've played on multiple platforms, Switch being one of them, I tend to be better competitively online on Switch. Like, I think about Fortnite. I'm way worse on Fortnite at Xbox than I am on Switch. So maybe it'll be like that with Overwatch as well. All right. We also got a brief look. Let me mention this real quick. Last night on the PvA Nightly Rundown, 9 o'clock Eastern on twitch.tv/PvA Radio, I drew a masterpiece, and not to exaggerate in any way, shape, or form, but a masterpiece of a whiteboard drawing about the cycle that Nintendo fans go through whenever a Direct is teased and then announced and then happens and then the fallout from it. I was totally off on my prediction for what I thought this was going to be. I thought we were going to get, like, a Smash Brothers level deep dive into the individual mechanics of Luigi's Mansion and of Pokemon, but Nintendo did not really linger on anything here. Like, I don't think they spent more than 3 minutes talking about any one of these announcements, which is not very Nintendo of them. It moved more like an Xbox presentation than a Nintendo presentation.
Well, the Smash Brothers reel just finished about 3 days ago, so that team is just now able to start their next.
And they were like, reel, "Oh shit, we got a lot of announcements to get." They've all backed up on us.
Shotgun approach.
So yeah, they showed some new worlds: a pirate world, a disco world, 2 to 8 player local multiplayer mode where you just try to suck up a bunch of ghosts.
Which is cool. For Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah, for Luigi's Mansion. My wife was very excited about this free to start Kirby game, Super Kirby Clash, which kind of looked like a Smash Brothers version, like game where instead of fighting each other, you just fight this giant ass monster that gets dropped in, and everybody's Kirby. So she was excited about that. It didn't particularly move the needle for me. And I'm just gonna hit everything high level, and stop me whenever I get to something that you guys want to talk about. Trials of Mana Remake is coming April 24th, 2020. Return of Obra Dinn Obra Dinn is coming this fall. Cody, you're a fan of that game?
Yeah, and I never finished it on PC, mostly just because I don't play games on my laptop very often. But that's a game I'll definitely rebuy on Switch to actually finish, because it seems like a perfect Switch game.
Next, they showed Little Town Hero, which is a title from Game Freak. Has very, very Pokemon vibes, as you can imagine, within it. But rather than playing with a bunch of different characters, you're playing with as one character. They announced that Toby Fox is the composer on the game, who is the same person who wrote the music for Undertale, which is one of the most praised soundtracks in recent memory, at least for me. They also announced that Banjo-Kazooie is coming to Smash today. You can download them now. And then they announced their next character. And I don't know if this is like common for Smash announcements, but it was this envelope with a red stamp, which I think is kind of standard that goes flying around. But it said, "You are cordially invited to Smash."
So gentlemanly.
Which I can imagine just Tinder profiles being updated left and right now.
That got pitched somewhere.
Yeah.
And multiple people said
May have been lost in translation.
Well, that's because they don't have the resident middle schooler that sits in on these boards to let them know.
Just let me smash.
The character that they announced, so they went back to the Neo Geo, they went to Fatal Fury, and they flew around to all of these characters who I don't know or give a shit about. And then they finally revealed that Terry is going to be the next fighter in Smash Ultimate. I'm going to be honest, guys. I don't know who the fuck Terry is. Do you guys?
I don't either.
Nope. I'd like to see Terry Crews in there. That would be
cool. That'd be way cooler. That'd have been way more hype. Or Dave Bautista.
Barista.
Dave Barista. He'll be coming in November of 2019, but they also announced that so the fighter pack got you 5 fighters. Terry's going to be the 4th, so they said, we got one more fighter, but we also want to let you know that more DLC fighters are coming to Smash as well, which you would expect.
I'm not going to do my rant about Smash characters again, but this I'm just linked to whatever episode that discussion was.
Yeah, we talked about that on the Nightly Rundown.
Yeah.
They also announced Legend of Zelda. Didn't announce, but they showed more of Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. There's something called Chamber Dungeon, where after you finish dungeons, you get pieces of that dungeon, and then you can build out custom dungeons that you can play through.
Like a Mario Maker for Zelda.
Yeah. So, not nearly as robust by any stretch of the imagination, but same concept. Dragon Quest XI S with some long-ass subtitle that I didn't get to record is coming on September 27th with a free demo that's out now. They showed a 2-long trailer for Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE Encore that gave me flashbacks to my days at GameStop because that game came out on DS when I was there. So Tokyo Mirage Sessions is Shin Megami Tensei and what's the other one that just came out? The RPG.
Persona?
Blanking. No, not Persona. 3 Houses.
Oh, Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem. Yeah, Fire Emblem and Shin Megami Tensei. It's a smash up between those. Then they announced Deadly Premonition 2, A Blessing in Disguise coming in 2020, and then a remake of not a remake, but like they're calling it Deadly Premonition Origins. So the first one launched today on Switch, and I know like a lot of people are excited about that game. And the trailer to me looked dope as hell. I may have to go back and try that out.
Those games are wacky.
Let's see. They announced that that Divinity Original Sin 2 Definitive Edition is available today. So, Cody, you can restart your playthrough on that.
I can restart and rebuy this game on a platform I probably would have originally bought it on.
Then the Doom 64 is coming to Switch on November 22nd. November 22nd. Pete Hines made an appearance.
Oh, nice.
To announce it. This is the first time Doom 64 is going to be available on anything other than the Nintendo 64, I believe, is what they said.
Another little Bethesda handshake there.
They love it, man. They love it.
They do.
A new game from Hi-Res Studios, which is the people who made Smite, I believe. Is it Smite or did they make Paladins? Hold on. Hi-Res Games. I want to make sure I get this right. I'm sorry. They made Smite and Paladins.
Oh, wow.
And Realm Royale. They announced a new game, which is called Rogue Company, which seemed to be kind of like an Overwatch style hero-based objective shooter. But I don't think they gave a window for a release on that, but it looked pretty cool. Then they announced 4 new features for Pokemon, guys. You ready for this? None of us are really big Pokemon fans, right?
Nah.
So forgive us. Cody, are you?
I find it entertaining. I haven't played in a while, though.
Okay. So forgive me if I'm missing something here. The first thing is that you're going to be able to customize your character, which is pretty cool. But they made a really big deal out of the fact that you're going to be able to put on outerwear and gloves. They were like, it's not just shirts and pants, guys. It's outerwear and gloves. It's like, all right. Weird flex, but okay. The next is Pokemon camps. So you will have a camp where outside of the village you can go and like all of your Pokemon are free and can walk around and you can like play with them, and people can visit your camp with their Pokemon, up to 4 people. And if you're visiting somebody's Pokemon, you can bring one of your Pokemon to play with the other Pokemon. But I didn't see them talk about what the benefit of that is gameplay wise, or if it's just a way to like take cute photo mode pictures of your Pokemon playing together.
I wonder
if some stat benefit.
I wonder if there's a monetization plan there. Because when I hear Pokemon camps, like it just makes me think of the Animal Crossing camp thing. But maybe I'm making assumptions where I shouldn't.
I mean, if any franchise is primed for monetization, it is Pokemon.
That's true. I think that I think they just called it Pokemon Camp because there's literally tents. So when the camps didn't seem to be customizable in any way outside of just the Pokemon running around. Then they were.
This is what I'm looking forward to.
Okay, well, the first 3 words I have with the punctuation at the end is the exact way that they announced it. Curry on rice. With a question mark. And that's how everybody watching, I assume, read it as well and thought, what the fuck? So in a very Zelda-like fashion, you will be able to gather ingredients in the world and build over 100 types of curry. And your goal is to complete the curry dex, which is your Pokedex of curries. So over 100 combinations. And there is a mini game when making the curry where you have to put a little love into it, a little heart. So it was this heart that had this like circle that was expanding and contracting around it, and you had to like time it right. And if you timed it right, you would put in just the right amount of love into your curry.
This is such a Nintendo thing to do.
Lauren watched this with me. She was like, what are they talking about?
A curry dex. I love it.
Over 100 types of curry. So I've had Japanese curry. I've had Indian curry. What are the other 98? Do you have spaghetti and call it Italian curry?
This is a completely different world. They could have all kinds of curry.
Jason Schreier tweeted a picture of a Pokemon and then of one of the kinds of curry. Just meaning that what if we have to kill the Pokemon in order to
you may have to.
What's more important?
You give me a Pokemon RPG, or I can play the local butcher, where I just like prepare the meats for everybody. I'm in.
You got too many Rat-a-tats. You got to clear them out somehow.
Of all the Pokemon you could have chosen to eat, you picked the Rat-a-tat. just a poached Togepi. Like, here we go.
There you go.
They announced.
I kind of dig this, by the way.
The curry thing?
The curry dex is hilarious to me and maybe worth the price of admission alone.
Is it possible for me to do the curry dex completely without training any Pokemon?
Yeah, that's actually a good point. Can you just play this game as a curry simulator?
Oh gosh, we got to find the people that are playing it like that and write an article about them.
The people are going to be me.
Like me. We send a fucking professional photo crew out to Cody's house to do this like 5-page spread. We have a player versus all printed magazine with Cody as the feature.
The cover story.
Meet the man with the complete Curry Dex and 0 Pokemon in his Pokedex. Oh man. And then the fourth thing that they announced were 2 new Pokemon. Poltegeist. No, hold on. My screen is very low res here.
Poultrygeist? Is it Poultrygeist?
No, it's not Poltegeist.
Damn it.
It's Polte. it is Poltegeist, and it is a teapot. Which I don't know why. I guess I can see why they didn't call it Pottygeist. Because that would attract a whole different kind of individual. There's already weird sexualization of Pokemon already. We don't yeah. Anyway, we don't
Rule 34.
We don't need that with this teapot. So yeah, Poltegeist is a teapot, and then they have Cramorant or Cramorant, I can't remember, who's just a bird. He's just a bird, and he controls water.
They're definitely not running out of ideas.
Yeah.
They need to bring me on board. I'll give them some Pokemon ideas.
And look, I'm sure that a lot of Pokemon fans are really excited about this stuff, and Cody is here really jazzed about the Curry Dex, but it just didn't do it for me. It didn't do it for me.
If you're
at all.
on board, you're on board at this point.
Yeah,
I don't think it's going to change anything.
I mean, if you can do the Curry thing and not the Pokemon, I might look into it. I might join you, Cody.
True. Join Team Curry.
Let's see. Then they had the they revealed that SNES games are coming to the Switch, and that is launching tomorrow. So if you're a Switch Online subscriber, you're going to get 20 SNES games tomorrow. And you can look up the list of all the games that are included on that. So on top of the NES games that you already get, 20 more SNES games are coming. And they're also putting out a wireless SNES controller for $30 exclusive to Nintendo Switch Online subscribers. So that was pretty cool.
I wonder if you can use that for non-SNES games. Like, I'd love to play Marvel Ultimate Alliance with an old school controller.
Probably not. I don't think you can use the because they did this with the NES controller as well, and I don't think you can use it on other games. Then they announced Mario and Sonic Olympic Games Tokyo 2020 edition coming on November 5th. There's a story mode this year where you must witness all of the debauchery of the Olympic Village as Sonic the Hedgehog. Mario, no! Then they have Daemon X Machina, a demo coming out today. I believe that game comes out next week. And then Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast is coming September 24th. And then I think I saw a Star Wars article that said this is actually going to be Jedi Outcast and Jedi Academy?
Yes.
Go ahead, Larry. I yield the floor.
2 of the finest games ever made, let alone Star Wars games.
Wow.
I mean, I've ranted about Jedi Academy more times than I can count over our years of games podcasting. I love that game. And if you like Star Wars at all, or RPGs at all, like, pick that up for sure. I have a lot less experience with Outcast. Unfortunately, as a child, I rented that a couple times, but I didn't get to play all the way through it. But I've heard wonderful things about it as well. So I'm really excited about this.
All right. Then I can't remember what the package is called, but Assassin's Creed Rogue and Black Flag are going to be packaged together, coming in December. I don't know if they announced a price for that either, but yeah, so Rogue and Black Flag, which Black Flag is
one of the better entries.
Yeah, one of the better entries. Rogue was the one that was like exclusive to PS3 and 360, then later came to.
Yeah, but it supposedly offers one of the more interesting takes on the Assassin's Creed narrative. You play as a Templar.
Yeah.
It kind of offers the other side. People have always spoken high. I think Assassin's Creed diehards have always spoken about that game in glowing terms. But it's cool that they're bringing more of these massive open world games to Switch between this and The Witcher. It's definitely, it'll be great to see the first one that kind of launches with it, but it's cool. I mean, maybe they'll end up porting the other Assassin's Creed games over as well, which would be awesome to see.
I'm glad you said The Witcher, because they did announce something about The Witcher that didn't make its way into that didn't make its way into this list. They just showed more about it, because we already know when that game's coming out, right?
Yeah, they announced that relatively recently.
Okay. So yeah, they went into a scissor reel after that, where they announced Dauntless is coming to Switch, which is the like Monster Hunter, Epic's Monster Hunter world. The Fortnite style Monster Hunter world game. Just Dance 2020, Grid Autosports, Farming Simulator 20, seeing that Nintendo is taking the esports scene very seriously. Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch is coming. NBA 2K20, Call of Cthulhu, The Outer Worlds, which, did we know that was coming to Switch already? Had that been confirmed?
They said it was. They just hadn't announced a date.
Okay. Devil May Cry 2 and Vampire were all announced. Were all shown during that sizzle reel. Then they talked about Animal Crossing, and I'm going to be honest, guys. If Pokemon is a game I could care less about, the game I could care less about is Animal Crossing. I don't give a rip about this game.
I can't wait to play a proper Animal Crossing game. Animal Crossing Pocket Camp didn't do it for me. Too much of the mobile games. Sign in, get your rewards. Be sure to do all these tasks. I don't want a job. I want a game where I can relax and make some animals mad at my complete neglect of their neighborhood.
A malevolent overlord, I see. So yeah, they just went on a little deep dive about Animal Crossing, and then they ended the show with Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition coming in 2020. So I'm going to be honest, guys, I was not expecting this volume of announcements out of Nintendo. I don't think neither of you guys had the chance to actually watch it, but going through just what I ran down here, what are your reactions overall?
I too was shocked by the volume. When you put Nintendo Direct in there, I expected to see 2 or 3 things worth talking about, and really it's quite a bit of content, and it may not all be stuff that I'm interested in, but it does present a broad catalog, a great diversity of games to play on that platform. So I think the future of Switch is looking awesome.
Yeah, I think they're continuing to kind of kill it just on ports. They're leveraging what people love about the Switch and just expanding the catalog. Like you said, I think the best. I think it's better that they didn't end up diving into anything or dwelling on anything too long. The scattershot approach seems good, just based purely on the sheer diversity of stuff they have here. I think there's a little bit of everything for everyone here, like between Assassin's Creed, indies like Obra Dinn, their exclusives, Pokemon, Luigi, Animal Crossing. It just seems like there's a little bit of something for everyone here. And yeah, I think capitalizing on newer stuff like the Outer Worlds is also great. We knew that was coming, but seeing a little bit more of that is not a bad thing. And just I'm also pleased by the amount of RPGs they have here, because it sometimes feels like there aren't too many like proper RPGs being put on consoles anymore. And I guess if so many are being ported to Switch, I don't see why people would end up putting them on any other console.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there was a little bit of everything here, which is not normally the case for Nintendo. No. I normally go into these things and I'm like, okay, well, I can just kind of have this on in the background because they're going to stay here for 10 minutes and then move here for another 7. And it's just going to be a bunch of games I don't care about. So it was cool to see this like really engaging, fast paced. Like, we're not going to have people just talking about little small mechanics that are going to be available in the games. I think that's good. And I'm hoping that what we're seeing is Nintendo recognizing that they have this unique advantage of being able to say like, hey, we're putting old ass games on this thing and people are still going to get excited about it. And because of that, they can take the volume shooter approach, right? Like, we're going to put up 30 announcements in this 40-minute presentation and realized that, hey, not all 30 are going to connect with everybody, but there's at least going to be 5. I'm sure if we went down through this list, each of us could point at 5 things that we're like, oh, I'm pretty excited about that. And Overwatch counts as all 5 for me. It made the 40 minutes all worth it, and it happened in the first 2 minutes.
I think the Star Wars games in particular are brilliant get for them as far as like bringing old games over, because there's such a lack of Star Wars video game content right now. And Jedi Academy is, in a lot of ways, it's the precursor to the Force Unleashed. You're making the choices of what kind of character you're going to be. You're leveling up the Force skills that you choose. You get to select what kind of outfit you've got. You design your own lightsaber, all that stuff. You master different forms of combat. Like that's just a great grab in this particular.
Mm-hmm. It was funny when the trailer first started. I was like, "Is Fallen Order about to be on this thing?" And I was like, "Oh no, this doesn't look nearly as good." And then it all made sense.
My favorite thing about that game, guilty pleasure, you can level up Force Choke in it and just ragdoll enemies across the map, through windows, off of ledges.
I think the kids are referring to that as yeeting now. You can yeet them. Level up your Force
Choke to yeet them.
They should have put that in the trailer. All right, guys. Any other parting thoughts on the Nintendo Direct from today?
Where's
Curry.
Nintendogs?
Tons of DS announcements here, guys. Get excited. Go out and buy your 3DSs. Plenty. Bowser promises they're not done with it quite yet.